Crafted comedy
by Great Wolf.
It's the talk of people in the know. Welcome to the G-Block Show.
Anyway, but right now I wanted to talk about the Elton John. First of all, I got to say, I saw that movie. I was not impressed. I'm glad Elton liked it. I was, but were it me, I would have been like, what the hell were you on? I mean, it just start to like, okay, just start to go, okay, now we're okay. All right. Well, anyway, everybody's a critic. Certainly, I would not want to be left out of that. But I wanted to say what really came to my attention was, of course, well, first of all, I want to just say this. I love this one because this goes back to my childhood when that song came out about the bitch. Elton John, the bitch is back. We all know that, right? I can't tell you. I was in the third grade, and it was a gift. It was just a plain out gift because before this, you could never. That was a word. I don't know. There's certain words, like the F word and that. Back then, of course, things were a lot different than they are now. It just didn't have that internet influence and all that. But it was almost like nobody ever said the F word or really even the B word. But you just knew that those are words you don't go there. You just can't. Those are words you can't say, especially as a kid. And all of a sudden, I'm like, am I hearing this right? When this song came out, I was like, no, he's saying that. He's saying bitch. Yeah, the bitch is back. He's not bitch. It's not just laid in there like one little word in the song. No, it's the song. The whole song is just over and over. That word, the bitch is back. I can bitch. Bitch, 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 bitch. I mean, it's just bitch. Boy, I was like, wow. I just felt like I could just, it was one of those, it was just so liberating. For a kid, I was thinking, I'm serious. I remember thinking, I'm glad this came now because the song's out now. I was thinking that because I was like, I'm sure glad it wasn't. I'm not like 23 now when I could say it if I wanted and get away with it. It's like, couldn't be better. This just could not have came out at a better time in my life. So I've got my little transistor radio with me. I'd take it to school with me. And when that song would come on, I would just belt it out. It had attitude. It was just like, wow, this rocks. So I'm saying, bitch, I don't know. It seemed like some of the other guys kind of got into it, but I don't think anybody quite as much as me. Probably knowing me the way I am now, it probably not surprised. It's like, yeah, no, that fits you to a T, Salty. But anyways, I just wanted to also point out this song that's kind of like gotten to be his anthem now. I think it was bitch, but now it's I'm Still Standing. Of course, he's had very turbulent times in his life, and we're lucky he's here. I'm so grateful for that he didn't go. By the way, that happens to so many people. It sure could have happened. It sure could have happened very easily. Ball things. I'm still standing. No, you've never been standing. I mean, every time I've ever seen Elton John, he's sitting. He's always sitting. Of course, playing the piano and stuff. But I understand that. But if you're going to do it, I mean, come on, let's be honest. You spend a lot of your life just sitting on your butt. That's where you've made your money. Even though you're extremely talented. Don't get me wrong, but that's the reality of it. You've been sitting. That's the only thing I would say. I would just change that song from "I'm Still Standing" to "I'm Still Sitting." Yeah. That's what I'd do. Yep, I sure would. I think he's still sitting. He's still sitting. Yeah, so it should be he's still sitting. And as it ties into that, we know his temper. I would say about to Rocket Man. He's a short fuse. He's got a short fuse that's never long. That's what I was good at. That's code. That's another way of saying bitch in Elton speak. It was like what they said in Rocket Man, burning down a fuse that's never long, because he has a very short fuse. And we'll just leave it at that. All right. Crafted comedy
by Great Wolf.
It's the talk of people in the know. Welcome to the G Block Show.
Mean Taylor Swift.
Yeah, her. Yeah, she's pretty nice. She's pretty good looking.
Yeah, I guess so, if you like that sort of thing. I was down on the red carpet there in L.A. I wasn't on the red carpet, but I was there at the event. I was looking down, and I saw what turns out to be Taylor Swift, and I thought it was a mannequin. I said to some women I was with, "Is there a movie out with mannequins in it?" That's what this is. They're taking pictures of this mannequin, and they laughed at me. They laughed at me, and they said, "No, that's Taylor Swift, and she moved." And I about had a heart attack. I'm like, "Oh my God!" Then I thought, okay, well, she's a robot, and they said, no, she's not. She's a real person. I said, fine, if you say so. I mean, serious.
Yeah, she's pretty nice. She's pretty good looking.
Yeah, and since then, I've seen many pictures of her, and you can't convince me she's not a mannequin. She looks just like a mannequin. She always has that very, very unreal, sexy look on her face. Like some sort of futuristic fembot. That's how she strikes me.
Well, I get that. I think she does too. I think, I have to say I've seen mannequins that look more real than her, but a lot of people really like her. So I don't know if I'd be going around tweeting that.
I'm sure I'm not alone, and that's her appeal. She looks unreal, and it's hot. It's sexy.
Yeah, she does. She looks like a woman from the future, but she got that kind of sexy cat eyes, like she's ready to pounce. A lot of people like that Melania. Boy, she just has that look. Like you can just feel the claws coming at her. You just feel like she's just about ready to strike.
You're absolutely right. And I bet you if you ever saw DJ naked, you'd see all kinds of scratches. You better believe it.
You've been enjoying another episode of the G Block Show, and we hope you're telling your friends about the G Block Show. If you have feedback or suggestions or would like to be a G Block Show sponsor, please contact us at gblockshow.com.
Hey, for the price of a fancy store-bought card, I will make you an online video card. An invitation, greeting, birthday wish, get well, congratulations, anything, and perhaps more than what you'd buy a traditional boring card for. I can make it for you. It's great because it's online and it can be shared or sent to anyone and everyone. No postage needed. And I'm sure you'll agree that I'm way more entertaining and lovable than any paper card. And not to mention I'm a celebrity. Oh, it's so easy. All you have to do is go to www.gblockshow.com. And that's all one word, gblockshow, and then, of course, a little .com. I'm very salty, and I can't wait to hear from you. Well, I can, but I'd rather not. Crafted comedy
by Great Wolf.
It's the talk of people in the know. Welcome to the G Block Show.
If I ever die, I sure as hell don't want any bagpipes being played at my funeral.
Oh, yeah, really?
Really, I can't stand them. I don't get it. Why bagpipes? What is the connection? Seriously, what's the connection? I'm not Scotch. I drink it from time to time, but other than that, every funeral, you can better believe, they got these bagpipes. And nowhere else do you ever see these things. You know why? Because people can't stand them, but they put up with them at the funeral. See?
No, I get your point. Never thought about it.
That's exactly why I think people keep having bagpipes at funerals, because nobody even thinks about it. They just accept it. It's kind of like the sun comes up, the sun comes down. It's kind of like daylight savings time. We don't question how idiotic and stupid it is. It's just that it's been that way, and so I guess it's going to continue to be that way. But I want to be clear. I'm going to say it again. If I ever die, no bagpipes, okay? Instead of bagpipes, I want something more like, like Jimmy Buffett. I like the tropical stuff, the steel drums, that sort of thing. That's what I want. And I want hula girls.
I want hula girls dancing.
Be nice.
Not for me, mind you, but I want people at the funeral to actually enjoy themselves. I'm like that. Just because I died doesn't mean I want everybody coming to my funeral being miserable. Not at all. I want everybody to feel good. I want them to get the vibe of life. And you're not going to get that with bagpipes. And bagpipes they're talk about a buzzkill. My God. Talk about a buzzkill.
I get your point. I agree.
I've been to a few of these funerals, right? And I'll say, God, I hate those bagpipes. Why do they have to have those at the funerals? And people will say to me, well, I don't know. I kind of like them. It's like, I know you're lying. You're full of crap. You're full of crap. It's just the most god-awful, piercing, whatever the hell. You can't call it music, that's for sure. I mean, seriously, you don't see concerts in town. Well, guess what? It's going to be the bagpipe cruise. The proof is in the pudding. The fact that they only show up at funerals should tell you something.
You've been enjoying another episode of The G-Block Show, and we hope you're telling your friends about The G-Block Show. If you have feedback or suggestions or would like to be a G-Block Show sponsor, please contact us at gblockshow.com.
Hey, for the price of a fancy store-bought card, I will make you an online video card. An invitation, greeting, birthday wish, get well, congratulations, anything, and perhaps more than what you'd buy a traditional boring card for. I can make it for you. It's great because it's online and it can be shared or sent to anyone and everyone. No postage needed. And I'm sure you'll agree that I'm way more entertaining and lovable than any paper card. Not to mention I'm a celebrity. Oh, it's so easy. All you have to do is go to www.gblockshow.com. And that's all one word, G-Block-Show. And then, of course, a little .com. I'm very salty, and I can't wait to hear from you. Well, I can, but I'd rather not. Crafted comedy by Great Wolf.
It's the talk of people in the know. Welcome to the G-Block Show.
First of all, I have all these little things right now. Right now, we're just in a phase here. We're going to start doing some more of the tabloid stuff, but I needed to provide a little more material for the sidetracks. So these are sidetracks. This is stuff where, and get into conversations and get a little sidetracked, as you know. It's a good and wonderful thing. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but if I could think of one reason not to have a kid, I can think of 1,000. I could probably think of more than that, really. But, people, it's all a baby. You've heard me talk about it before. Goo goo gaga. But babies, especially when they get like what they call the terrible twos, which seems to be kind of seems to be the state of humanity. I kind of think that's where we are as humankind is actually in the state of the terrible twos. But with a baby, they cry. They cry and they really let it out sometimes. I was telling you, I worked for a little while, just for fun, for kicks and grins. I worked in a grocery store, a big grocery store too. I found appealing. It was this massive grocery store. Get to see people from all around the world, all walks of life, coming and getting their groceries. And there'd be little kids in the store, right? Because people, they just, I don't know, they can't afford a babysitter, I guess, because they can't afford their kids. And when school's out, well, there goes the babysitter. I shouldn't say it, but a little kid. But so anyways, they got to bring the little kids with them. That's fine. I suppose my mom and dad brought me shopping with them a time or two. So when one of the kids, all of a sudden, if one kid just started letting it out, just crying, all of a sudden just all of a sudden there's 10 of them in the store. There's all like they all just react like, wow, okay, that kid can cry. Well, then I'll cry. I'll show you how to cry. And all of a sudden, where you didn't even hardly notice if there's any kids, all of a sudden you feel like you're in some kind of a children's nursery from hell. It's just, oh gosh, man, what's going on? And of course, I would always say, if you could imagine, the way I am, I would just kind of like, for crying out loud, I kind of say it kind of loud like that. For crying out loud. That's the truth. That's what these kids were doing. They were crying out loud. It's just stating the obvious. Wanted to kind of just accentuate that, put a fine point on it. But another thing I observed with these kids, a little bit older, maybe 3 years old, I don't know for sure, but in that vicinity, I don't know, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, up to about 5. Some kids maybe a little older, but in that vicinity, they always have all these toys and goodies and candy and all this junk right there at the checkout stand. It's just like, okay, parents, we're really gonna make you pay a price for having kids, because while you're waiting here in line, we're going to put all this temptation stuff all around, so your kids are just gonna grab all this junk right there at the checkout stand. It's just like, you can't believe. Most of the parents don't even try to stop it. They don't even like, okay, fine, let the kid pick up the stuff and play with it, put it in his mouth and do whatever. If it's not my stuff, then I'm not going to pay for it. And that's where I'm going with this. But they do pay for it. They end up paying a real high price when they actually try to take that candy, the toy or the candy, away from the baby. When they're going through checkout, it's like, oh, okay, no, he's not going to get, we're going to, come on, kid. They take it away. And when they take it away from the kid, well, I got to tell you, at the very first, I thought, well, this kid is just a brat, really, really poorly raised. But no, that's not what's going on. They're all like that. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe how tenacious, how absolutely committed, once these kids get their hands on something, some candy or whatever, that's that. They're not letting go. I don't care what it is. Their resolve is like, like I said, I'm stunned. I just wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it over and over and over again with my own eyes. But as soon as these parents say, no, come on, give that to me, the kids just go ballistic. I mean, they're screaming, they're jumping. I mean, they're ready to fight. They're ready to bite. All of a sudden, their face turns red and their eyes just start pooling out, just start dripping with tears, because they're going to take away some stupid little piece of candy. And I got to tell you, but whoever said that, well, it's like taking candy from a baby, as if that's easy, as if it's something easy. Oh, don't worry about it. It's like taking candy from a baby. Well, I'm going to tell you, there's probably nothing on the face of the earth that's harder than taking candy from a baby. You just don't want to go there. These parents, they really need to smarten up. Don't let them have that damn candy in the first place. Do it. And I saw some of them. They actually they would stand make a wall so that their kid couldn't actually see the candy there. And that's really smart, because otherwise, man, those kids see that candy, they may only have a reach of about a half a foot, and somehow or another they can just jump that about 4 feet. And they get their hands on that stuff, and it's worse than any drug addict. I mean, really, it's worse than any drug addict you get in their fix. It's like, man, they're not turning loose of that. They're not. I don't care. And I don't even think they even know what the heck. They have no idea even what they've got in their hands. They just know that, guess, something they like, because it's colorful, and it's, the marketers, they know what they're doing. Yeah, so anyway, it's just kind of funny. I'm just like, man, and then to some of these kids, like I said, I would not have been able to believe, I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it with my own eyes, and I saw it over and over again. So it's not just, it's in these kids. It's hardwired in them. The reason I'm talking about all this, just besides the point that if something's really difficult, something's just next to impossible, that's when we say, like taking candy from a baby. Just like sleeping like a baby. You'll sleep like a baby. Babies sleep about every 2 hours. They're up going, fussing, crying about something. Just being babies. But I'd say, for crying out loud, act your age. You never want to tell a 3-year-old to act their age. No. It's big mistake. Big mistake. Yeah. But anyway, what I was going to say is, what I think would really be neat is to make these things, I swear to God, we could be millionaires doing this, is make this like blinders that you put on, like glasses, but with big shields off to the sides. and maybe come a little bit of a curvature. Yeah, put something on that they can wear with a nice picture or something that they like to look at in front of them, and put it on like put it on like glasses where they can't. Everything else is blocked out except for this beautiful picture in front of them, and the parents can put these on while they're going grocery shopping. And maybe every now and then, change the picture. And maybe what we could do is also have it so that we could slip in, so we'd sell extra pictures with it. So maybe when they buy these things, they'd have about 6 different pictures, because kids have these short attention spans, but with that is like a short memory. So as soon as the kid starts getting a little fussy with the one picture, just stop for a second, slip in another picture. The whole idea of this is just so they can't see anything around there. That's the perfect thing, because then when they're going shopping, it's like hassle-free. And especially if you don't use it when you're going shopping around the store, definitely put these on before you go through that checkout. Yeah, it's just so you can block out all those goodies off to the peripheral. This thing is worth its weight in gold. You can probably make these things for next to nothing. I'd like to see stuff like that made in America, because I'm American first. I'm not one of these guys that goes around, touting that I'm all for America first, and I get my hats, I would get my hats made in China and that sort of thing. That seems kind of counterintuitive. But anyway, what do you guys think about that? Well, I think it's a great idea. I really do. I'm serious. I think that's a sound idea. Yeah, all right. I was thinking more of a sight idea. But no, I get your point. No, I think it's, yeah, okay. How about you, Bert?
Yeah, no question about it. That there's a fantastic idea. Certainly is. You'd save those parents a lot of money and a lot of headache. I certainly think it's worth a try, and when do we get started?
Yeah, okay. Terrific idea. Now, if we could just do something about the kids, just have this cry, this outburst. I was thinking maybe something like a sack over their head, but I don't know. I'm sure there could be all kinds of issues with that. Probably gets into too much litigation, but it's just something to muffle, like a muffler. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, where they could still breathe. I mean, we don't want them to stop, but where they could just definitely keep it so that it's like you're in a restaurant, you're trying to enjoy your meal. It's bad enough when the kid starts playing the prisoner thing, where like bang, 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 bang with the silverware. God, Jesus, please let me out of here. Drives me nuts. I'm half afraid. That's one of the reasons I don't like to go out to a restaurant. Some kid's doing a protest, and it just ruins the whole thing. But then if they start screaming and crying, it's like, oh God, please do something. And sometimes the parents are like, cognizant of things. So they'll get up right away and they'll take their kid outside, do whatever. But others are like, hey, no, it's my kid. He's just as welcome here as anybody. Don't be giving me those looks. In fact, the more you give me those looks, I encourage my kid to be even worse than he was or she was. They kind of get that attitude. They kind of look around. It's like, hi, you don't like it, huh? Yeah, that's from my loin. Yeah, you better like it. Yeah. So I don't know. So there's a lot of parents, probably a lot of parents would just not put the muffler on because it doesn't really serve them. I think they get used to the cry. They go numb to it. They miss it sometimes. Like, gosh, he hasn't, had an outburst for about 4 hours. Kind of thinking time to, maybe I'll give him a little pinch. Something like that. You know what I mean?
You've been enjoying another episode of The G-Block Show, and we hope you're telling your friends about The G-Block Show. If you have feedback or suggestions or would like to be a G-Block Show sponsor, please contact us at gblockshow.com.
The gblockshow.com website is a great place to hear your favorite G-Block Show shows, as well as their backstories. And it's also a great place to go and get your video messages or invitations made. Yes, have your video message or invitation made by some of the other very colorful Portland puppets, such as
Pirate Hardy,
Hugh Blue,
Mexican Bandit Rango,
Groovy Granny,
Cowboy Sonny,
Cowboy Bird,
Boosty Cool,
and others. And for a great price. Be sure to check it all out next time you go to the gblockshow.com. That's GBLOCK show.com.
Crafted comedy
by Grey Wolf.
It's the talk of people in the know. Welcome to the G-Block Show.
All right, now these here, and this has nothing to do with the tabloids, but these are little things that come running through my mind. So I write these things down. I write these things down, as you guys know, from time to time. I have a little fun with this. So you guys remember Farrah Fawcett?
Oh, yeah, totally. She was big. She was huge back in the 70s.
Yeah, well, yeah, she was one of, Charlie's Angels, 70s show.
Yeah, of course I remember her. She was pretty attractive. I did think people made a bit much of her, though.
Well, yeah, they did. Yeah, when I was a kid, I remember it was kind of a funny thing. Like any friends at house I go over to, we're all guys, young adolescent, prepubescent, whatever, somewhere in that zone. There'd be a poster, and it was that poster of Farrah Fawcett. And there is there was a few posters of Farrah Fawcett, but there was just that one in particular. Must have sold a zillion copies of these, and almost every guy I knew had one of these up, and in his bedroom wall. It was just like he just had to. It was just this kind of really, I don't even know if half of them even really would have liked, that Farrah Fawcett. But it was just the thing. You had to have it. It's just somehow it's like to prove that you were a male or something, and no others. Now, quite the opposite of me. Now, see, I had this older sister, she got these Teen Beat magazines, and my stepbrother and I, we'd take out all these hot pictures of these girls. Back then, of course, this is long before the internet and all this stuff, right? So there's not, and we didn't have the Playboy. We couldn't put that stuff up, But our basement wall, we were down in the basement, and our walls were just covered with all these really nice, must just been probably 18-year-old girls from these Teen Beat magazines, wall to wall. We didn't make any bones about it. It's we got to, that was our decor, something quite attractive to look at. Okay, all-American male, to be sure, but our friends, they weren't quite as me as that, or their parents wouldn't let them. But a lot of them, they have this Farrah Fawcett picture. And I was just thinking back on it, because posters were really huge. But I have to think that probably was the best-selling poster ever. That one particular one of her, and how she became just the go-to girl. I guess she was like our Marilyn Monroe. It's all, a lot of this is just marketing. They just make this happen. That's the way it's going to be. This is what you get, and then people go along, follow like sheep. It's just the way it is. And we always used to say, Farrah Fawcett, with her last name being Fawcett. Really, I guess you could say it was a turn on, play on words, but but the other one was, of course, Farrah Fawcett made me blank like a faucet. Anyway. That was, I just want to cover that one. So, okay, let's see here the next one. Oh, yeah, this one. You've seen out here.
You've been enjoying another episode of The G Block Show, and we hope you're telling your friends about The G Block Show. If you have feedback or suggestions or would like to be a G Block Show sponsor, please contact us at gblockshow.com.
Hey, for the price of a fancy store-bought card, I will make you an online video card. An invitation, greeting, birthday wish, get well, congratulations, anything, and perhaps more than what you'd buy a traditional boring card for. I can make it for you. It's great because it's online and it can be shared or sent to anyone and everyone. No postage needed. And I'm sure you'll agree that I'm way more entertaining and lovable than any paper card. And not to mention I'm a celebrity. Oh, it's so easy. All you have to do is go to www.gblockshow.com. And that's all one word, gblockshow. And then, of course, a little .com. I'm very salty, and I can't wait to hear from you. Well, I can, but I'd rather not.